All right, guys, welcome to today's trade recap. It's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I was losing confidence. I was not trading my best, and I honestly just did not feel like posting. But we're back. We're locked in, and yeah, like I said, we're back locked in. Let's go over the trades we took today, and boom. All right. So we are up around $17,000 today. It is my biggest trade of the year so far, biggest day of the year so far, I should say. And yeah, let's go over it. So at first in the morning, I was more loose bias, right? We had a lot of generated liquidity on both sides of the market. You can see we had all this low resistance on the highs, but we also have pumped a lot with no retraces. So I did have a loose bias, anticipating that we could have a big dump or we could just pump right at open and take out all that low resistance. So market open, and as you can see here, we dumped. And crazy enough, a lot of people were kind of surprised that I didn't take it, knowing how I trade. I did not see this 930 manipulation. I was not on the 1 minute time frame at the time, and it was like too close of a sweep that I didn't notice it. I was looking at the 5 minute, and I was just like not really paying attention to trading a 930 manipulation. So I did end up missing the shorts. More in depth, I did post a recap on my TikTok and Instagram, but uh, did not go over this. So my bad. I'm just yapping. Uh, right here, you can see that we tapped this 1 minute and we were continuing to the drawn liquidity, which was these hourly lows, right? This was the clear drawn liquidity for the day once we had the displacement. So when I saw us tap into this 1 minute and start to reject, I did try to take a short. Now I did end up taking a short like around here, and my stop was super tight at the high. Now when we got this candle down, it wasn't really my model. I wasn't super confident with it, even though it was a continuation trade. Um, and looking back, it was just on me. I didn't have a loose enough stop, and I moved my stop to break even too quick. So ended up missing out on the shorts to the low, which would have been beautiful, but ended up just getting break even here and then entering this long right here. You see, we took out this 4 hour low, zooming into the 1 minute. As soon as we took out that 4 hour low, we started respecting. So when I see this candle respect, I wait. Once I see this candle come down and then start wicking back up, I'm like, okay, we do want to have a retrace. Now, initially, initially, sorry, I got a notification. Wow, bro, I'm so energized. I'm like off 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, guys. Bear with me, please. Um, Initially, this was my drawn liquidity, right? So it was this internal high, but as soon as we took this high on ES, there was a bearish SMT, and we also were tapping bearish 1 minute fair value gap on both ES and NQ. When I saw this, I was like, you know what? I'm happy with this trade. It's a good enough retracement for me, so I ended up just closing early. My bad for just being all over the place right now. I haven't recorded a video in a minute, so boom. This was the first trade I took, and yeah, made me around 1900 across 5 accounts. Can't complain. Loved it. Now, let's go over the second trade we took on our Lucid accounts. As you can see here, up 1500 across 5 Lucid accounts, and they are live accounts, no evals. You see Lucid evals. Click here, fund the next. Beautiful. Now, also, another thing, if you haven't already, um, use my code on Lucid. It is NateNQ. Use NateNQ on Lucid, and you'll get 40% off all accounts. Can't beat that deal. In my opinion, Lucid is one of the best firms out right now. One of the easiest firms to get a payout with. Pretty straightforward rules. End of day drawdown. It's just perfect. So let's get into the second trade. Now, this one was a little bit more of a understanding the market and how it has been moving, like with my experience. So you see on the 15 minute, we ended up taking these 15 minute lows. When I see this, I'm like, okay, let's look for a internal model. Zooming into the 1 minute, you can see here, we end up having some displacement up, and I'm like, okay, should I enter off this fair value gap? And I thought to myself, that's where I've been going wrong. That is how I've been losing and how I haven't been trading like myself. What do I always like to wait for? Internal manipulation. If I would have just slapped along here when I saw displacement up, or I saw this first inverse, boom, I would have gone stopped, right? But no, what I do instead is I wait for internal manipulation and then take my trade off of that. So, wait for internal manipulation. Looking at ES, you can see we ended up making a lower low while NQ was making a higher low, giving us this SMT. Started seeing us start to get displacement up. I ended up taking a long with a stop at the protected low. And then my draw on liquidity were these stacked 5 relative equal highs. Pretty much it. Really straightforward trade. It was a counter trend trade, so I was being a little bit more cautious, especially since I wasn't even gonna trade since I already have my top step accounts locked out. If you didn't see my TikTok video yesterday, I was going over how I'm only gonna focus on Top Step and I'm not gonna trade on any other firms until I get a payout. Ended up going against that because I saw this model that I love with this displacement, with this volume. I had to take it. It was a trade that I was willing to risk on those accounts, so ended up playing out. Ended up closing early once we tapped into this imbalance. I was just trailing my stop super heavy, and I ended up getting stopped out around like over here, I think. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the day. Those were the 2 trades I took. This was a continuation trade that I liked. We had another internal SMT, and then got displacement up. So again, stop at the protected low. SMTs, whoever makes the lower low or the higher low, or the lower low or the higher high, is always going to be protected, right? So if we really are bullish and we are going to continue higher, there is no reason for us to come down to take this low since it is protected. If you guys want me to make a video on protected highs and lows, let me know and I'll make one. Really important concept. Has helped my trading a lot. So yeah, you can see ended up playing out perfectly. Basically no retracements if I would have stayed in, but I was happy with it. Biggest day of the year so far, as you can see right here, $17,000, damn near. Love it, bro. Uh, Honestly, all I could say is I'm proud of myself. I told myself this week that I was going to lock back in and I was gonna stop doing the stupid stuff that I've been doing, and I got paid for it. I ended up passing these top step accounts. Now I'm up almost 10 grand on the top step accounts. I passed my Lucid accounts. I got them back, and now look, I'm up like 8 grand on Lucid accounts. So can't complain. Um, Getting back in the groove of things. I haven't made a YouTube video in a while, so I am kind of rambling and I went off topic a lot, and that was my fault. Um, but I'm just gonna get more confident over time talking again, and you guys know how it is. I always get better. You always get better practicing and doing it over and over, right? So can't complain. It is my birthday tomorrow, so this was a early birthday present, I guess, from NQ. Uh, and yeah, hopefully just gonna enjoy the rest of the weekend. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. 17K day, best day of the year. Uh, my bad if I didn't really explain it that well. I'm really not in like a clear mind right now. Like I'm like all over the place. I'm off of caffeine. And I'm just really excited about how I traded today. So bear with me, as I said earlier. But if you haven't already, join the free Discord. I'll leave the links in the description. It's completely free. I send my pre-market analysis in there every day. And if you guys have any questions, I always answer any questions you guys have for me in my Discord. So if you haven't joined, Lucid, Nate NQ for all accounts. And yeah, peace.